Welcome to the Thrive TV Show with Lauren Parsons, helping you boost your health, energy, and productivity.
Hi there, and welcome to another episode of the Thrive TV Show. My name is Lauren Parsons, Wellbeing Specialist, and today I'm thrilled to be joined by Nathalie Plamondon-Thomas, all the way from Canada in Vancouver. So hi, Nathalie.
Hey, Lauren. So nice being on your show. I'm very, very excited to be hosted today. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Oh, it's fantastic to have you here. So today we are talking about how to end self-sabotage. And I know this is going to be a hot topic because even as much as we learn about ourselves, I believe it's something that can crop up from time to time. And I'm really looking forward to hearing what you've got to share. So today, listeners, you're going to hear what are the main causes of self-sabotage. Why do we do the reverse of what it is we know that we should be doing? And we'll learn the 3-step system to reprogram your brain to help you avoid it. So I'm excited. So before we dive into that, we're just going to get to know Nathalie a little more with our this and that questions. So you ready for some quick fire this and that questions, Nathalie?
Get ready. I'm totally ready. Bring it
on. Okay, so tell me, do you prefer spots or stripes?
Spots or stripes?
Like clothing-wise.
Oh, stripes.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, that looks like you're wearing spots there. Beautiful.
I guess.
Yeah. Tell me, indoors or outdoors?
Indoors.
Okay. Oh, nice. Would you rather be a poet or a scientist?
A scientist.
Oh, nice. Climb a mountain or relax on the beach?
The first one was what?
Climb a mountain.
Okay.
Montagne. Or s'allonger sur la plage, or relax on the beach.
Okay, relax on the beach. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. I find that one's tough to choose. Football or basketball?
Basketball.
Oh, nice. Would you rather have invisibility or invincibility?
Invincibility.
Oh, nice. Cardio or weights? This is going to be tough, isn't it?
Both. Weights.
Both. Yeah, okay, yeah. I thought you might say both. Yeah, both is okay. And lastly, long nails or short nails? Like
short? Oh, nails. Long.
Yeah, like long fingernails. Nice. Very good. Okay, so to tell you a little bit more about Nathalie, we know that sometimes we know what to do and yet we do the reverse. Nathalie is the expert with a proven system to reprogram your brain and get you transformational results. She's the founder of the Think Yourself Success Academy. She's a speaker, publisher, master life coach, and #1 best-selling author of 11 books on wellness and empowerment. So Nathalie combines her 10 years of experience in human resources, 25 years in sales, and 30 years in the fitness industry. In 2007, in fact, she was rated the Fitness Instructor of the Year for Canada. Congratulations. So she uses neuroscience in her practice as a master life coach, executive coach, and transformation coach to reprogram your brain to end self-sabotage and live your full potential. She says you can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. But somehow Nathalie can. So I'm very excited to hear. So first of all, just tell us, Nathalie, how is it that you got started doing what you are doing now?
So as you mentioned in my bio, my background is in fitness. Started 32 years ago, became a fitness instructor, personal trainer. I had one-on-one clients, realized my clients were going home and eating crap. So I had to become a nutrition and wellness specialist as well. And then realized that even my client that were successful, it was not because I was giving them a better kale salad recipe or because I was showing them a better way to do a bicep curl or to squat. It was because they were starting to think differently, and they were starting to think in a way that was evolving, that was changing. They were starting to think more like me. I'm a small town girl, and my parents were positive freaks. We had signs everywhere in the house. You can do this. You're amazing. Yes, you can. And on Sundays, we didn't have to go to church, but we had to sit down in the living room and listen to motivational tapes every Sunday for hours. So even though my brother and I would roll eyes at this, now I guess they brainwashed us into injection of positiveness to be that type of of personality, where if somebody tells me to go to hell, I will think, oh, is this a restaurant on the beach? Like I'm just happy. And I thought that I needed to have had my childhood in order to think that way, until I realized that my clients were starting to change the way they would think, and starting to see that I thought your personality was set in stone. I thought that this is it, and you can't change that, until I realized, hey, it's a thing. So that's when I started to study neuroscience. That was about 12 years ago. Did master in neuro-linguistic programming. I studied lots of different neuroscience, read hundreds of books on the topic, and created a system to actually reprogram the brain, because I thought, oh, it's a thing. That means I need to learn how I did this with my clients. How did they start thinking differently? How did that really happen? And how can I recreate that with everybody by a fixed 3-step system, so that people can actually follow the 3 steps and reprogram their brain. It can be done.
That sounds fantastic. And so tell us, what causes self-sabotage in the first place?
So the problem is, and I have to talk about, there's so many different areas in our brain. There's the prefrontal cortex, where the emotions are being generated. There's the at the bottom of the amygdala here, right behind the ear. There's a little area, the reticular activating system, who is always paying attention to anything. So there's many areas, and I'm going to talk about 2 different parts of the brain. I'm going to talk about the logical mind and the unconscious mind. So the logical mind is that voice inside your head. It's the voice that talks to you all the time. It can handle 5 to 9 things at a time. It's pretty cool. You can kind of multitask. You can't drive and text at the same time, though, because 5 to 9 things is not that many. When you're driving and looking for a brand new address, and you're looking at the numbers on the doors, as you're arriving closer, you have to lower the volume of the radio somehow, because when you're driving, you've got your foot on the brake, the accelerator. You have the red light over there. There's a kid about to cross the street. Then there's this dude in his car winking at you, and you're like, gross. So all of a sudden, 5 to 9 things gets overwhelmed very quickly. And this looking at the number, when you add this to the equation, you have to lower the music, because the music becomes the one too many. So 5 to 9 things is not that great after all. And the other thing about our logical mind is that it's very negative. We generate between 50,000 to some people 100,000 thoughts a day, and 70% of these thoughts are negative. We talk down to ourselves all the time, and that's kind of a problem. We worry so much, and 40% about the stuff we worry about is never going to happen. And 30% has already happened. It's over. And 12% are miscellaneous things that are not even important. Is, am I going to get a parking spot today at work, or what am I going to have for dinner? And then we spend so much time worrying about this. There's a 10% that we worry about that is strictly for physical reason, and it's minor thing. Like, you have a headache, well, just drink more water and then headache's going to go. But then instead of just drinking more water and then having a nap or going to bed early that night, it's not what we do. We Google it, and then we Google our headache, and all of a sudden we're like, oh, I must have brain cancer. Oh my gosh, I think I have 3 days to live. Because we worry so much, and we build it up. So that's our logical mind. That's what we do all day with all this nonsense that's coming at us. So we need to look at the powerful part of the brain, the unconscious mind. The unconscious mind has a potential of 2.3 million pieces of information every second. 5 to 9, 2.3 million pieces of information every second. So this is where the money is. This is very, very powerful. It records everything. It deletes stuff. It distorts stuff. It generalizes stuff. And it creates your own reality. So that's really important to know about how to use what. And what's going on is the reason why we self-sabotage is that we're going on in life. what's his name? Vince Pacenti has a very great analogy for that. It's like you're an ant working hard, going to your shelter, bringing food to your shelter, working hard. And if you're an entrepreneur or whomever you are listening to this podcast, you might be doing everything right. You might be doing your social media right, and then you're doing marketing, you're trying to go to networking event, you're trying to build your business, and then you're trying to have repeat customers, you're delivering a great service, you're doing everything right, like an ant working hard day in, day out. And then you see your objective, and then you want to get to that massive business, or you want to get to the 6-figure, or you want to get to your goal. And as you're working, you feel like you're even going backwards sometimes, and you're still living paycheck to paycheck, and you're wondering, what is going on? Why am I not sabotaging myself? Because sometimes you know what to do, you just don't do it, and you're like, why am I not doing this? It's because sometimes the ant is standing on top of an elephant, and the elephant is walking the other way. So even if the ant continues to walk this way, if the elephant is walking exponentially faster to the other direction, it's not going to work. So what do you think, Lauren? Should the ant step off the elephant?
Yeah, that's really interesting, because I have a different analogy around, the elephant as well, in terms of our brain, because we do have that logical prefrontal cortex and then that deep emotional limbic part of our brain. And we know that that is the thing that really drives our behavior. And as you say, it's that reticular activating system in our brain that really filters all of the things that we think that we're receiving, all those messages, and it presents us with the ones that we've told it we're interested in, doesn't it? So the things that we spend our mind focusing on, the things that we listen to, the things that we watch, the conversations that we have, and seeing that example of your parents in indoctrinating yourself and your brother with positive, motivational, educational, inspirational self-development, as you say, as a child, even when you didn't quite appreciate it. It's amazing to see how that shapes your reality. And the thing that I think of when you share that analogy is the story that we create, the narrative that we add to the things that are going on around us. Yeah. So, obviously, if the ant is trying to strive forward, but the elephant is going away, I guess the logical question for people listening in is, how do we get that elephant to turn around to line up with our goals?
Exactly.
Do you want to share that with us?
Because usually when I ask this question and I said, do you think the ant should step off the elephant? No, the ant should stay on the elephant and should talk to the elephant and say, hey, bud, can you turn around? This is where I'm going. And you get there exponentially faster. You see some people are in business, they are so successful, or in their life in general, in their health and their wellness. You're like, it looks so easy for them. Yeah, because they're using their elephant. So here's how you can use you talk to your elephant. Pretend that in your head, you have your own personal assistant. Your personal assistant is standing there with a notepad, writing down everything that you think, everything that you say. And it makes it happen. The problem is people get up in the morning and then they look at themselves in the mirror and they're like, ooh, I look so tired. Oh my gosh, I think I'm getting old. Oh my gosh, it's going to be a gong show today at work. I'm going to be so stressed out. Oh, I think I'm getting fat. And people have these conversations with themselves, whether they say it out loud or in their head. What happens is that the personal assistant takes the pen and notepad and says, okay, what's my first order of the day? I am so tired. What can I do to make them more tired? I'll keep them awake all night. Check. I think I'm looking old. Okay, wait. I'm going to make them forget to put their eye cream around their eyes, so then they're going to look even older. Check. I'm going to be so stressed out today at work. What can I do for that? Okay, I'm going to make them forget something at home so that they have to turn around in traffic and go get it. That's going to be awesome. It's going to be a gong show today. I'm going to be a gong show. What can I do? I know. I'm going to make them say something stupid to their boss. It's going to be a gong show. Perfect. Check. I think I'm getting fat. I can do this. Easy. I'm going to make them eat a piece of chocolate cake or something deep fried. Perfect. Check. So that's how your elephant is listening to you. Your personal assistant is ticking the boxes. So we need to start talking to ourselves with what we want and not what we don't want. Even if we use the, I don't want to be stressed. I don't want to, because that's what my clients do is they sit with me every day either on Zoom or in my office, and they tell me what they don't want. Oh, I don't want to be stressed anymore. I don't want to be impatient with my kids. I don't want to be broke. Well, your brain just writes down stressed, broke, impatient. So you have to talk to yourself with what you want, not what you don't want. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, it does to me, and I share a really similar message. I have 5 little words, and I call it focus on what you want. Because as you say, even when similar to you, when you ask someone what they want, often our brain defaults to the pessimistic mode, that survival brain trying to look around for the danger around us, and we take the pessimistic view to say, oh, well, I don't want to be stressed out, I don't want to be tired, I don't want to be overweight, I don't want to be worried or sick. And wherever we end up focusing our brain, it's really interesting the way that you talk about that personal assistant, that, it's like it comes back to us. And it's difficult when we're in the midst of it, I think, for people to understand why that's happening. And sometimes we just need to catch ourselves when we're using those don't statements. The subconscious brain doesn't hear that word don't. All it hears is tired, worried, overweight. And so there's always a way to flip it. And sometimes when you're in a difficult place, it's hard to picture, isn't it? But there's always a way to say, I want to be vibrant and energized and carefree, and actually put it in a positive and remove. I recommend removing that don't from the sentence. Yeah, fantastic.
100%. So
I know that you work a lot with people's limiting beliefs, which is a really key thing that we know holds us all back. So define for us what a limiting belief is and how do we free ourselves from them?
Okay. So when I realized that when I created the system, the 3-step system, I found out that not enough people were aware of the step number 2, the middle step. That's where I really specialize. That's where that's what made me 8 times international #1 best-selling author, because of this change.
So before you go to step number 2, I want to say my next question would be, can you give us the 3-step process?
Yeah, I will.
Or do you want to dive into number 2?
No, I will. I'm just telling you that the limiting belief fits exactly in that step number 2. So I'll come back to that. I will give you the 3 steps so that when we get to the number 2, that's when we'll talk about limiting beliefs. Because if I give you all about limiting belief first, then I find that it's better to tell you what are the 3 steps. Is that okay?
Yeah, let's do that now. I think that everyone's like on the edge of their seats listening, going, I want these 3 steps, Nathalie.
Exactly. So I promise to respond to the limiting belief when we get to step number 2. Okay. So the first step is you need to know what you want. So everybody's done that. You need to make a list. You need to write down exactly what you want. Not what you don't want. You write down what you want. Okay, so you make the list, or who's heard of a vision board? Can make a vision board. You can make a SMART goals. You've heard of SMART goal. You need to know what you want. So this is nothing new. It's important, and it's not the end of it all. It's like making a kitchen renovation. So you want to do a renovation in your kitchen. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to create a folder, and you're going to put a sample of these cupboards. You want to have this countertop, this backsplash at the end. You want this hardwood floor, this color, and you put the color paint chip in your folder, and then you'll create the plan of what you want exactly in your kitchen. So that's step number 1. And everybody has kind of done that. Everybody is familiar with this. And there's millions of books and literature on the subject. Everybody's telling us to do this. The problem is that it's not enough. You need 2 more steps, because this folder is a folder. You can't invite guests to eat in your folder. It's just a folder. It's not a kitchen, right? You can't cook in it. There's no real oven. So a lot of people are done with their vision board, and then they look at it, and that's it. Then what? What do I do with my list? And the problem is people go to step number 3 right away, and they try to install these cupboards in the existing kitchen. So they take these cupboards and try to install them over top of the existing cupboards, and take the island, put it over top of the existing island, and try to put everything, cram it in, the old and the new together, and it's not going to work. In order to do step number 3, you need step number 2. You need
I love this analogy. I love
the
it.
old kitchen.
Yes.
You need to clean up the old kitchen and the limiting beliefs as well. Because even if you, let's say that your goal is, let's talk about health and wellness, because health is, everybody needs to be healthy. And somebody has a limiting belief that exercising is hard, or they will always gain it back if they lose weight, or they always gain weight at Christmas. Oh, if I go on a cruise, I'm going to gain 10 pounds. It is the way it is. And people have all these limiting beliefs. Even if you start exercising like crazy, even if you start to eat very, very well, if your belief is, I will always gain it back, then your personal assistant is going to be like, oh my gosh, she said she wanted to be overweight. She said she would gain it back. What can I do? I'm going to eat that, because your limiting belief is your own truth. So you need to change that. And that's the step number 2. Gut out the old kitchen. Remove the negative emotion, anger, fear, hurt, sadness, guilt. Remove the limiting belief. Rephrase them. The first step for a limiting belief to change that is to talk about it in the past. That's the first step. Somebody would tell me, oh my gosh, I'm not a morning person. Well, when you came out of your mom's tummy, you were not a morning person or an evening person. We chose that all of a sudden, and you can learn to be a morning person if it's useful for you, and you can be a night owl if it works for you. So you can, people tell me, I'll say, oh, I'm really bad with names. Well, said who? Like, as soon as somebody introduces themselves to you, if you respond, oh, hi, my name is Nathalie, you're Lauren. Oh, I'm really bad with names. You just told your personal assistant, I want to forget your name.
Forget that name, yeah, absolutely. I love this, talking about in the past, so we can just say, oh, I used to be really bad at names, or I used to, and now this is what I do.
You talk about it in the past. I used to, and I work with a lot of people with addictions as well, and that's the very first step, because to rephrase a limiting belief, you need to believe that it's true. Okay, so if you roll your eyes when you say it, I work with people in grief. I'm working with a couple right now. They've lost their daughter. It's awful. It's terrible. I can't make them say a beautiful affirmation, look at themselves in the mirror and say, I am happy. Life is beautiful. No, it's not. Life sucks. They just lost their daughter. So we start with talking about it in the past. And then we add on a progressive statement. Okay. So you start a progressive statement with, I am willing to learn, or I'm in the process of. So I used to be really bad with names. I'm willing to learn how to remember names. That's true. If somebody is, I don't know, 300 pounds and they need to lose weight because their doctor said you should lose weight, then if they look at themselves in the mirror and they say, I am thin, it's not going to work. They can say, I used to be overweight. Now I'm in the process of losing weight, or I'm in the process of becoming healthier. I'm willing to learn how it feels to love myself. I'm willing to learn how it feels to take care of myself. And this is always true. You can't be rolling your eyes saying, yeah, right. No, because I used to is true. And then your brain gets confused. It goes, what do you mean we used to? We used to be afraid of flying. Are we done with this? Oh, wait, what's going on?
Oh, I love this. I love this. This is so great. This is life-changing right here. This, what you are sharing right now, is probably the most life-changing thing that people can do. And I love the way that you're reframing this. Because like you say, if we look in the mirror and we say, oh, I'm thin, but the reality doesn't speak, like you say, it's not going to connect. But I love this. I'm willing to learn to love myself, to be healthier. This is golden. Everyone that is listening right now, this is golden.
Yeah, like the couple that I'm working with, I'm willing to learn how it feels to be happy again. For my son, they have a son too. Wow. They can't just stop living. I do work with, this is another couple. I volunteer on Saturday night at it's called night shift. So it's for street people. So people that don't have homes. And I am chatting with a couple every week there who have lost two child in a car accident. So the two brothers were together, and the parents never recovered, and they completely lost it. They lost their job, they started drinking, and they lost their home. So we don't know what story lies behind why they're on the street. And sometimes they did not have anything to hold on to. And they definitely did not have the chance to rewrite their limiting belief or just the situation that they're in. So it can be something terrible happened to me in the past. It's true. And now I'm willing to learn how to be happy again. I'm willing to learn how to move on. I'm willing to learn how to create a new identity for myself so that I will start loving myself again, or to forgive, or to evolve. This process really, really helps. So fortunately, the other couple I'm working with, they do have a son, so they do have to keep their job. They do have to continue, and they have this unconditional love for the son that's left to bring them out of this terrible tragedy that happened to their daughter.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's just heartbreaking, but I love the empathy and the connection you can create through that, helping them through that. And I guess this can relate to anyone that's listening and that's experienced grief or is experiencing it, or you have someone in your life, to talk to them about helping to work through it, that I'm willing to learn how to be happy again. I feel like that's a really gentle and respectful, connected way to look at it. That's really beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
So does that complete the 3 steps, or is that step 1 and 2?
Okay, so step 1, you write down everything that you want. And step 2, you ask yourself, what has been keeping me from having all this on my list? What's in the way? What are the things that I used to believe that did not really help? And then there's a lot of questions you can ask yourself. Let's say that it's a bad habit, that you find out that you have this bad habit, or this self-sabotage behavior that, oh my gosh, I keep stopping in the drive-through and buying donuts or whatever it is, or I keep wasting time on social media while I should be working on my business, or whatever it is that this behavior you want to change. And then you ask yourself, when I do this behavior that I want to change, you do the 4 quadrant. So what do I love about doing this bad habit? Or let's say you just want to quit smoking. Let's make it easy for the example. So what do I love about smoking? What does that give me? And then you ask yourself, what do I love? What would that do for if I was not smoking? What would I love about the fact that I would not be smoking? And then what do I don't like about this bad habit? What do I don't like about smoking? What's wrong with it? Why don't I want to smoke, really? And then you go to, what do I don't like about not smoking? So then you
like, what am I going to miss out on? What am I going to miss out on if I make the change and I stop? Yeah.
Exactly. So there's lots that you can do. There's specific processes that you can do as well. So what I do with my client one-on-one, so that's more in therapies. So I use a lot of different processes to recognize that our negative emotions, anger, fear, hurt, sadness, and guilt, are the top 5 one. So these top 5 powerful emotion, I call them powerful because there's no such thing as a positive or a negative emotion. In the prefrontal cortex, they're all created equally, and the brain doesn't even know the difference between anxiety and excitement. So somehow it's just a powerful emotion. And what I like to let's say you're frustrated, or you're you have, you're kind of ticked off, or you're kind of not happy with something, you feel miserable. All of this is under the umbrella of anger. If you're afraid, if you're not confident, it's usually under the umbrella of fear. There's 5 big umbrellas. Now, these powerful emotions are like delivery trucks, okay? And they are coming into your life to deliver a parcel. That's it. That's their only purpose. They come into your life and they're carrying a parcel. And the problem is we don't open the parcel. We leave the truck in the driveway with the parcel in it. And then there's another truck that comes, and another truck, and another truck. And all of a sudden we're stuck with all these trucks in our driveway, and we can't go anywhere because we have not received our parcels. These parcels are the positive learnings. So there's always something to learn. Every experience that comes with a powerful emotion, it's because we have something to learn. So you have to figure out, what did I learn? What did I learn at this specific event? There's a process I do with my client that goes through the whole, from the root cause of anger all the way to today. So we do that in a full session. So if you're doing this on your own, you can always ask yourself, let's say you feel really upset, and then you're in the car and the seatbelt didn't do anything to you, like it's just a seat. You should not be worried about that. You should not be angry at this. It's because maybe there's too much accumulated. And at that time, you want to ask yourself, wait, what am I upset about? And what did I learn? What was my learning? As soon as you receive the parcel, the truck goes. That's it. That was their only purpose. And then every single time you experience fear, oh my gosh, I feel uncomfortable right now, I don't know if I can do this, I'm out of my comfort zone, oh my gosh, I'm receiving a parcel. Ooh, that's exciting. Get excited, because if you go into fear and anxiety, your brain is going to start noticing this and send cortisol in your body. If you're excited, ooh, I'm receiving a parcel, I'm going to learn something, oh my gosh, I'm going to become good at this, I'm out of my comfort zone right now, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to become really good at this. And then you're excited. So excitement will send maybe dopamine, maybe oxytocin, maybe serotonin. So there's different hormones that will be shoot through your body so that you start being excited. So
I love that. That mirrors up with what Kelly McGonigal shares in her TED Talk about stress, and how stress is only negative for us if we perceive stress as negative. But if we perceive stress as getting excited and getting ready to perform, it can actually be hugely beneficial. So that's probably another little resource I recommend people tap into. Now, we've just got a few final minutes, but I want to make sure that we get all of this gold out of you, that we get to step 3. So
step 3, once you've done your cleanup, now you have to install your kitchen. So now you have to say, okay, when do I want, and then you go through, I use the 6 layers of the brain. So I work with the work of Robert Dilt. So the 6 layers of the brains are the environment, the behavior, the skills, the beliefs and value, the identity, and then the life purpose. So I go in my environment. What do I want now? And how do I set up my environment for success? What behaviors do I want to do? What are the skills that I need? Do I need to take courses? Do I have everything that I need? What are the new beliefs and value that I want? So we've canceled out our limiting belief. What are my new beliefs? What do I want to believe? That, yeah, success is possible for me. And what about when you make more money, you spend more money and you always live paycheck to paycheck? A lot of people believe that. That's an old limiting belief. How about you start believing when you make more money, you have more money? That would be, when you make more money, you have more money. So what are the limiting belief that used to be that you want to implement now? You want to have good serving beliefs. So you write down, what do you want to believe that would serve you? Your identity. So who do you want to be? In Think Yourself a Relationship Pro, it's a 4-quadrant personality test book that I have. And it really helps you go into each layers of the brain to reprogram yourself to be whatever you want to be, because your personality is not set in stone. You don't have to be. Let some people say, yeah, but I'm very, I'm very introvert, and I'm very shy, or I'm very, well, if it serves you to be that way, fine. You don't have to be anything else. If you feel like, oh, I wish I was like that, well, write it on your list. That's the identity that you want. You want to be like this, you can. That's the thing. And then your purpose, always, you want to know why you're doing this. Who else are you serving other than yourself? Who else? What's important to you? Do you want to be a role model for your kids? Do you want to leave a legacy? Do you want to help maybe other women that are starting their business that you could help out, or do you want to help couples that had grief through their life, or do you want to? What is your life purpose, and why are you here? What really drives you? What do you defend? What's really important to you? Like, once let's say that you win like $50 million, and then once you've done your around the world trip and you've done all that, what is really important to you? What will you continue to do? What will you defend? And what is your why? What is really, really important to you? So you want to write down your perfect, they're called the neurological levels. So the 6 layers of the brain. So you reprogram each and every one of them once you've cleaned up.
Wow, that is just phenomenal. I think we can all see why you have written 11 books, because there's just so much gold in there. And I know we don't have time to cover everything today. So if people wanted to follow up with you and find out more, can you tell us where's the best place to go? We'll have the links below as well for you to click. But Nathalie, you just let us know what's the best way to connect with you.
Yeah, so thinkyourself.com. So Think Yourself is the brand, and it's the base of all my work. So my website is thinkyourself.com. You can meet me there, or Nathalie at thinkyourself.com. Nathalie with an H, the French way, Nathalie.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you so much. And I believe that Nathalie has a special for you. If you're listening in today, click on the link in the show notes below and you can receive a discount off her amazing #1 bestseller book, Think Yourself Successful, the DNA system to reprogram your brain and rewire yourself for success. I look forward to reading it and just to continuing, because I think we can always be learning more and tweaking that kitchen and clearing things out and reprogramming and really, making the most of life for right now and for those around us. So I want to thank you so much for your time, for your energy and your wisdom. Anything you want to just finish off with or wrap up with as a final word?
I guess one thing that that is inside you is the fact that you got this. That's one thing, that you have a powerful brain. If you have an unconscious mind, it means that you have the elephant. You got this. You have everything you need. It's inside you, and you have to start trusting yourself that you got this. So those are my 3 final words. You got this. You don't need any other new course or new this and new that. There's no when I get there. There is no there. Today, right now, you got this. You got this.
Beautiful. You got this. So thank you again for listening to this episode of the Thrive TV show. We will be back with another episode real soon. Make sure you share this around, share this goodness, and go out and thrive. Thanks so much.
Thank you for listening to the Thrive TV show with Lauren Parsons. Visit thrivetvshow.com to access the show notes and discover our fantastic bonus content. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next inspiring episode.